this is something mad that I've discovered. Basically, I realised that, well, obviously it's the British summer, yeah? So I've been sleeping on the floor lately and 2 months, and I've got something crazy important to tell you about sleeping without a duvet. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy because you're probably thinking, why is this guy making a video about sleeping without a duvet? Because it's dangerous. That's why. It's dangerous. It affects your health. Listen to this, right? So I went into ChatGPT and I just had this mad hunch. And so I put something about, do you think sleeping without a duvet can spike cortisol and cause stress while sleeping? Because I've been feeling stressed out lately. I've been wheezing and shit at night, and I've been struggling to breathe, and my workouts are off, my recovery's off, everything's off. I've been trying to figure it out, and I've been as I usually do, I look at the food side of things. So I'll be looking at the nutrients, is there any particular food or food group that I've added lately. One particular concern I've had is actually 10 p.m. right now, 10:30 p.m. right now. It's kind of late for me. I do not condone eating late at night. I'm very much against that, but sometimes I get it now when people say, yeah, look, this is just my routine. I'm stuck in a routine. I go to work, I do this and that. And the only time I get to eat or cook food, or I didn't even get to cook food, I have to order some other stuff or whatever, like pre-made foods and stuff. I totally get that, because right now at this stage of my life, I'm extremely busy. I've got so many things I'm juggling right now, and it just gets kind of crazy. So my meal time, by the time I've figured out that I want to make my meal times earlier, it just happens. It's usually around 3 p.m. I just got home, I'm hungry, and I'll start eating, instead of figuring out some sort of am I gonna eat once today, or am I gonna eat earlier today and not fast so I can reset my routines. So that hasn't happened because I've just been in constant work mode all the time, and juggling so many things that I haven't had the freedom, you could say, to mess around with that too much as I used to. So yeah, I mean, I've been eating late. That's not ideal. That in itself is going to stress your body, right? But this video is not about eating late, okay? There's going to be other contributors, right? But I guess in general, although we're focused on the duvet thing here, in general, what we're really focusing on is what's called low level chronic, meaning long-term, long-lasting, low-level chronic inflammation. So the type of stress that you get from not sleeping with a duvet is low-level stress, okay? But just because it's low-level stress doesn't mean that it's not significant stress, that it doesn't impact things. So in terms of your gains, your muscle formation, whatever, muscle building, or just general health, recovery, well-being, okay, if there's something low level, whether it's in your nutrients, whether it's in your air quality, whether even the humidity or the atmospheric pressure, I don't know, whatever it is, if it's affecting you even on a low level, it's going to stack up over time and create negative effects. So in my case, I noticed my muscle building recovery slowed down. I'm what the hell's going on? I'm maxing out everything right now, and I'm not able to recover. Or I've got when you're doing that, your body, when you're sleeping, is hypersensitive to changes in temperature, okay? So even a slight mild chill in your room, right, is enough to give you low-level chronic stress to the body. And that, over time, even though it's incremental, it can elevate your cortisol. And if it elevates your cortisol, you're out the game. Okay, so if you're a bodybuilder, you're out here exercising and stuff, you want to keep your cortisol low. And usually I'm pretty good at that. I live a very stressful life. Okay, I deal with financial markets. I deal with a very crappy area that I live in where there's adverse conditions every day affecting me. So I'm used to stress. But when you have so many low-level stresses and they chip away, it can impact your cortisol. And I've been noticing that in especially my breathing at night. I'm short of breath and gasping for air, hunger, I think they call it. So stuff like that has been affecting me, and I've noticed, I was you know what, me sleeping without a duvet might be trivial you know, and it might be trivial to you. If it's trivial to me, it's definitely going to be trivial to you. Okay, so think about that. Can you hear me gasping for air already? Usually starts around this time. I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know whether it's like acidosis or what, but it's definitely stressful. It's definitely stressing out my body. And yeah, I guess I just wanted to make a video to talk about that. And I know I have the self-awareness to know that I suffer from certain nerve conditions. You know, I get like pinched nerve in my shoulder. It causes like restriction in the mobility in my neck, stuff like that. I have nerve issues in my toes. Yeah, these nerve issues, they get problematic. So obviously my nervous system is hypersensitive. Mild temperature fluctuations at night can give you low level chronic stress. I even think I'd go as far as to say it's inflammation, because I haven't experienced this level of inflammation, you know, like actual phlegm and stuff like that, for a very long time. And so I know for a fact, you know, this is something that's happening as a result of a lifestyle problem, something that I can definitely change, because I haven't had this problem in ages. I know what it's not. So you got to think, if I'm eating the same regular foods again and again most of the time, I know it's not the food, because I've been living on these foods for years and it hasn't affected me like that, right? Eating late. I've eaten late before. Okay, maybe not for like months on end, but like, okay, it's been a few weeks. I've been eating quite late. Okay, it's probably been more than a few weeks. I'm not going to lie. So I've done that before though. I've eaten late and it's not created so much of a problem in terms of like chronic inflammation, or, you know, inflammation. Yeah, it is chronic inflammation. That's what it is. When you're wheezing, gasping, and you get like a big cough, a big like harsh, dry feeling cough, and then you're pulling up phlegm, that's some serious inflammation. Okay, maybe I just haven't been focusing on recovery as much as I should be. I've just been whacking out training, thinking I'm like immortal because I take all the nutrients for recovery, and like just expect it to, I guess, just push through it. Like in normal conditions, if I wasn't taking all these nutrients and supplements and stuff, I'd probably be like apathetic. I'd just have given up by now and just like, no, I can't do this anymore, you know, because I've been taking these things. I'm just powering through it, and I'm like, the more power that I get in my workouts, I'm just like, oh, I just gotta fucking, you get it? So I'm just like, I need more. So, but I'm not focusing on the other side, which is the recovery. Now, I'm telling you, look, I know it's summer, I know it's hot, but even if you're not going to use a duvet when you sleep, okay, I have the fan on as well. Maybe that's contributing to the issue. So usually you're not going to feel that hot around midnight, around 1 a.m., 1:30, but between that 2:30 a.m. and 4 a.m., 5 a.m. window, I think that's the time that your body goes the coolest, and it's the time at which your body is the most sensitive to those changes. Like it's gonna basically, you've got this mechanism in your body that wants to, like, if your body temperature gets too low, it's gonna want to raise that temperature. And what it does, so this is the mechanism, right? So if your body thinks your body temperature's too low at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. or something, it's gonna spike your cortisol, the stress hormone, to try and wake you up gently, okay, through a hormonal process, so that you don't die. Basically, like that's why it's like that. It's designed like that so that you don't die. Okay, but like, I'm just chilling in my bedroom, sleeping on the floor with the fan on, with no duvet all summer, thinking that's cool, not realizing by the time I'm deep in sleep, okay, my body's got its own like calibration and, I don't know, like sensitive instruments, you know, imagine like a spaceship, you see all these dials like flicking around. It's kind of like that. And but we're not conscious of it. So in the daytime, you know, you get hot, like I just got hot, I took my hoodie off. You're conscious of it, so you consciously react, right? But in your sleep, you don't know what's going on. At this point, I've realized it's causing me silent, low-level, chronic inflammation and spiking cortisol. So we've got work to do in lowering that cortisol, keeping the stress levels low, and focusing on a balanced approach to exercise and nutrition, which incorporates recovery, not just mental training, not just, you know, crazy supplement pumping, but recovery, relaxation, meditation, you know, like nirvana, like being able to let go, you know, let go of stress. Subscribe to my channel, like the video if you want to see more anecdotal, stuff, me talking about exercise, nutrition, and maybe even sign up for some therapy sessions if you really want to improve your life that much. But until then, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.